Live.
Oh! I just wondered.
Hello. Welcome to our live stream. Can you hear us? Let me know in the comments. Shoo!
See, how do you...
Oh, all right. I wonder why it's not going full screen. That's not good. Technical difficulties. We'll get it figured out here. We'll get it dialed in. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Should be better.
This is not loading.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
Comment if you can
Somebody
hear
said
me.
yes.
Can you hear me?
Do you have the comments on your phone?
I'm trying to... I am not connected to the internet.
What? Fail. Clint has one job, and that's to check the
Well,
comments.
I'm connected. It says connected without internet on your internet.
Well, let me pull it up. I also have 6% battery, so that's good.
Oh, that's great.
All right, we're going to get rolling here if we can get the comments here on this. Lake House Lawn Care's here. Brett's Grasscapade's in here. He said this stream sucks.
Yes.
Hey, we'll see, Brett. Jared Thresher says, what's up from Michigan? Do you know Jared Thresher? He's from Michigan. Clint's from
Maybe.
Michigan.
I'm from Michigan.
Mr. Motor City, pizza guy, pizza boy himself.
Yeah.
Have you bought dirt? Okie Lawn Guy wants to know. Oh, I've bought dirt and watched it wash away, and then I bought dirt again and watched it wash away.
Should we put on those lights so they can see?
Sure.
How do I do that?
I'll put on some lights.
All right.
Keep them entertained.
Justin's going to go throw on some floodlights, and that way we can... It does nothing. I don't think. Maybe. I don't know. I can't tell. There's a delay. So... Keith says beers and s'mores. No beers for... Oh, yeah. It looks good now.
It's probably the hardest thing about doing a live stream is the delay. Try and get the comments
Yeah.
when they come in. So, well, so Clint's in town. He was about, what were you, an hour away?
Yeah, I was in
Ish.
Indianapolis. I was at a trade show. Do It Best with good old Turf Titan. So, figured I'd come stop by and say what's up to Justin.
I don't really have grass for him to play in yet, but we're just hanging. Good time to hang. James Garcia, what's up, my man? What's up? Hey from Houston, Texas. We've got people from Florida. We've got Australia. We've got... Left Tool says the fire's getting out of hand. I could use some rain. I hope it does not rain. I wouldn't be surprised, though.
He's been needing this. Some rain.
Been needing this. We've been needing this.
It seems to be the popular thing now.
We've got a warning. Please configure both primary and backup streams correctly. Nah, we're good. We'll roll with it. Anybody have any questions? Drop some questions. We want to talk.
There we go. Connected to internet, I can finally read some stuff now. Lake House Lawn. All right, he's up in here. Lawn Mentor. What's happening?
How do I stop skunks and raccoons from always digging holes in my lawn? I would assume The reason they're digging in your lawn is because they're going after food, probably grub worms or something similar. So the way I would fix that is to get rid of the grub worms or whatever insects are in the lawn.
You know, I used milky spore. I tried that stuff out.
Big milky spore guy.
Yeah. No, I'm a fan. I did a partial renovation at my house. I dug out all the POA, and I didn't find any grubs. I had a grub infestation last year, and that milky spore, the way it's supposed to work, you know, is that you put that down, water it in, and the grubs eat it, and then the mommy and daddy grubs die, and then when their eggs hatch, they eat that decomposed stuff, and then they get the poison, and then they die. And then it's like it lasts up to 10 years.
Science.
Yeah.
So you put it down once and it lasts 10 years?
I think they said put down 2 applications. So I put down one at the end of last season, and then I finished it off this year. So I haven't put down any grub killer, and not that I'm going to dig up my whole lawn and look for grubs, but I mean, like, I put 60 holes in my lawn, and that got rid of it. So yeah, definitely grubs will bring that. I have possums, and I see them digging all the time for grubs on the other side that was not treated. But I mean, doesn't look that bad over there.
There you go, milky spore. Try it out. Let's see. Yes, Polly, that milky spore is what he said. Milky spore. Lake House Lawn Care says he'd rather drink milky spore than watch the Bears play again this year. Yeah, we'll see how you feel next week when you're ready to get your hopes torn down again.
Also, James Lance said, when are the videos of your fall reno coming up?
I need to, starting Tuesday. I usually edit my videos in the evenings at the fire station. And honestly, I just have not had motivation to do it. I need to do it. I have plenty of videos, and I'm going to start trying to get one out every 3 days, so every shift going forward. So I've got the stuff on the drainage, I've got stuff on killing the Johnson grass, and I've got overseeding video, I've got a lot of dirt work, and then we're going to be seeding this lawn on Wednesday. So hopefully I'll start getting all that stuff out.
You know, the way you're saying that you have a lot of dirt work, you know, just to let you guys know, I'm here right now. It's more than a lot of dirt work. I mean, we're standing in front of a bobcat right now. Like, I used to think on when I did my 3000, I was like, oh my gosh, I had like a dump truck of dirt. And I'm like, man, I got a lot of dirt work here. I got to do this. I'm looking at this. This is,
so I'm telling Clint, having a bigger property like this that you're trying to maintain and look nice is a whole different ball game. And I have a new respect for people who have big areas that the grass is immaculate. And I'm trying to get my way there, but it takes a lot more time and work, and you got to have the right equipment too to help. So we're going to get there eventually.
What else we got here? My internet's out again.
Oh,
I don't know. It's not connecting, man. It did for a minute.
Okay, let's see. Trying to keep up with these. This is the hard part about doing a live is you skip some questions, but I'll try to get them all. If I skip yours, you can post it again, and hopefully we can get to it. Somebody said, where's the TV with the football game on? There's a TV outside here on the porch, right that way. Let's see. Wanting to do a Bermuda renovation next spring. Should I do anything in the fall to prepare? So you have Bermuda currently and you're wanting to kill that off, or you're wanting to go from fescue to Bermuda. If you're trying to get rid of Bermuda, it's going to be tough. It's going to take a lot of applications. So I wouldn't want my lawn to be dead all winter long. So I would wait and do that in the spring. But in terms of anything you can do now to prepare, is just continue preparing the soil. So you can always be building your soil up, either with aeration, remove the cores, and backfill with sand, or top dress with sand, or something like that. Or you can be putting some products down that are going to continue to build the soil. That's what I would do. You got any?
On the Bermuda?
You were. He wasn't.
No, I'm trying to connect. I'm trying to connect to the internet. I'm trying my best here.
What's the best way to raise your edges? Mine are low. Did we lose people? No active streams. What happened there? Sorry, something popped up on my computer that's getting in our way here. We're back. So raise your edges. If your edges are low, meaning I'm assuming you're talking about next to your sidewalks or hard surfaces. So if this is your sidewalk and this is your grass or your soil and it's low, so like you would have to hit your mower on the sidewalk and you can't just run it next to it and do all that. I mean, the only way to do that is bring in something like topsoil and make it level with the concrete surface or whatever you've got, and then you can plant grass on top of that.
Would you kill off that area that's really low and then
I'd just put topsoil over it.
Right on top of the existing grass?
Yeah. So one thing I've learned is I've had people comment on videos before because I have grass and then you'll put something over top of it and you plant grass on top and they're like, oh, the roots are going to get all screwed up and it's not going to work. Like, from my experience, that's not the case. The roots will just grow right down into it and the grass under it will die and decay, which is going to feed and going to help build your topsoil and your dirt better anyway. So that's just my experience.
I would agree with that because when I did my first partial renovation in my old house,
partial guy.
I did. I put topsoil right on top of my grass, and I did a dormant seed. And then when everything came alive in spring, like I had no issues, and the lawn grew right in. That was when I had Kentucky bluegrass, which I'm smoking my rye off next year.
Speaking of smoking,
yeah, I'm getting rid of the rye and I'm going back to Kentucky bluegrass. I'm going midnight.
All bluegrass?
All bluegrass.
100%.
I was
no rye?
I was gonna mix it, but then I decided I don't know. You know, people call rye like sissy grass or whatever. It's such a good looking grass, but like the fact that where I live, you know, there's lots of dogs are there. I get, you know, they pee on the lawn and like that, you know, I get dead spots. There's wild animals, and then if there is fungus, you know, you got to constantly replant with perennial ryegrass, which is not too big of a deal. But when I had my Kentucky bluegrass, I had blue bank, and I would have flooding in my backyard, and it would look like it would die off, and then you would give it like 3 weeks, month, and it was just like I cut it a few times, and all of a sudden my lawn was just lush again.
Yeah.
It just it's like you know, what is it? The northern Bermuda. You know, it spreads and it fills itself in. You know, and I just you can't beat that. I love that. So perennial rye, and I was gonna mix it, but you know, like we were talking earlier, having if you decide to, you know, let the grass grow, it'll look kind of funny. You know, so yeah, I'm going 100% Kentucky bluegrass.
So Brett says he's got to run. He's got some paint he's got to wash dry. Appreciate it, buddy. Hey, we'll see you next time. Are you... Let me see if I got this right. Can you... Gas or battery mower? I know his answer, 100%.
Battery. Battery.
I would say it depends on really a few things. One, how big of an area you have. And two, how often you mow your lawn. Now, the lawn to learn, I know you're going to mow your lawn often enough. I think battery mowers don't do very well when you let the lawn grow out too long because they just don't cut well enough to mow overgrown grass really well. But if you're mowing a reasonable sized yard, 5,000 square feet, and you're going to mow often, I think battery mowers are awesome.
Yeah, you know, the power, you know, like I have the Toro Vortex, and that thing that has power, but you got to run it on max the whole time, and I'm doing
so battery's not gonna last.
It's not gonna last that long, and whereas gas, you have that consistent power, and I'm not knocking gas though, and I'm not like, oh, battery, you know, like save the earth, you know, like with no emissions, and I hear that batteries are actually worse anyways, but you know, I like how quiet it is, you know, and like when my kids are sleeping, I mow super early in the morning, and I like the silence. That's why I do battery. Otherwise, if when my kids get older, I'll probably toss all the batteries, and then I'll get gas again.
So for me here, I'm gonna have what's irrigated is about 22,000 square feet. I've got more grass than that here, but it's not irrigated. But anyway, my goal is to have a complete battery mower lineup. Like, I would love to have a battery 0-turn mower to mow everything. I really want to get the robot mower to work out here and have the robot mower mow a lot. I know a lot of people are bashing on robot mowers and how if you were a real lawn care person, you'd keep mowing your own grass. And I still want to mow it occasionally, but I would love to, like during the week mows, have the battery mower maintain most of this, and then I come out on the weekends and get my zen time.
I have the Luba, and that thing, not to go all into my hip situation where I can barely walk, but that thing has saved my leg and the amount of time that, and it cuts 4,000 square feet. And that's, when you're using a 21-inch, 4,000 square feet, that takes you time, and I'm a family guy. I have 4 kids, and it's kind of like when I'm going to go out in the yard, it's like I check out, see you guys later. Now, I go out there, that Luba, it stripes it. It stripes it better than a human, using AI on there. It goes around things, and then it comes back, and it'll mow the spot that it missed. I love it.
Yeah, so someone asked, who has the better grass between you two? Well, I'm going to...
Oh, me for sure.
Look around. You can see the dirt here. Currently, I don't have a yard. It's just a dirt patch. So right now, he's got me beat. But,
this is his lawn right here. It's pretty...
Give me 1 year from now, and then we'll ask the same question. See how this... Does anybody have a solo stove? It claims smokeless, but as you can see, we're getting smoked out. Okie Lawn Guy asked why battery. I think maybe kind of answer that. He loves it because it's quiet.
Yeah.
I love it because, one, it's quiet, and I think it's so much easier to use in terms of you throw a battery in and you go, and then when you're done, you take the battery out and you're done. Just super easy, and the quietness for me also is a big factor. I love my I have a Toro Titan Max that I use, and that thing's a beast, and it's awesome. But I think battery's pretty sweet too.
Yeah, the whole, I've cut my lawn. Like, I cut the lawn real fast. Like, let's say like I'm about to go out, I throw the battery in. There's no like priming, pull start, and then now you're like kind of smelly like gas. Even though I love the smell of gas, it's like I'll cut my lawn, and obviously my whole property is not even as big as your backyard, But like I will cut it, and then like I can jump right in my car after, and I don't smell like gas or anything. And then also too,
he smells like gas, just not gasoline.
Yeah, it's Mr. Methane. But what's it called? The other thing too is storage on a lot of those, like an Ego and even the Toro. They're so light because there's no big engine on there. You can like fold these things up and like just shove it in the corner. Whereas, well, I guess I wouldn't do that with the gas one. You got gas and oil all in there. It's like tipping it sideways. It's like you can fold them up, hide them.
No, I think there's pros and cons of both. It's just whatever you're into. I definitely see the benefit of the battery as long as the batteries last long enough to get your yard done. Somebody said I should have gone with the Brio. I agree. The Brio was not a thing, I don't believe, whenever I got this. But I would love to switch from this to a Brio, especially with that heat deflector you put over this and the heat actually comes out. Have you seen those?
No, I have not seen a Brio.
The Brio, it's like this, similar idea, smokeless fire pit, but they have a lot more attachments. You can like cook on them, and
oh wow,
they have this heat shield that's probably this high. So because like all the heat on this goes up.
Yeah.
And the Brio, it hits the thing, and the heat's supposed to go out to the people sitting around it. Pretty cool. Not a sponsor, but Brio, if you're watching this, I'm open.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that one up. Brio.
What is a good mulching blade you'd recommend? I know the Gator blades. I think the G5 is what they are good. I know a lot of people say they like the Ballard blades, but I've never used the Ballard mulching blade, so I can't answer that. But those are two, Gator G5 and Ballard Inc. blades.
So do those, you said the Gator?
Mm-hmm.
Those fit on anything?
Well, I think they make.
Because I've never used one before.
I think they make them for multiple different mowers. So you go on there and you could just type in your mower.
Oh, that's nice. I don't.
I'm a bag guy.
Yeah,
I like to bag my mower up. I actually need to get a bag system for my zero turn.
Yeah, I do a lot of bagging because I bag. That's another thing. What do you guys do? Do you guys bag or mulch? Because personally, I've been bagging in the back. I normally, when I real mow the front, I return it all because it's so fine, it's whatever. But the backyard, all my kids play back there, and they go out there and I'll cut the lawn, and then they're playing out there, and then they track that stuff through the house.
Clippings all over.
Yeah, it's all over them, and when you bag it, it's clean, and I don't know, personally, I think it looks better when you bag it. It looks cleaner, and I don't even know. Maybe it stripes better. I have no idea. But
if you bag,
does it stripe better?
I think it stripes better when you bag. And I think if you have a time master, like a gas time master, I think I've found that it stripes better when you side discharge.
Side discharge, yeah.
Because it's more suction.
Yeah, because I used to watch, when I watched Ryan Norwin, his way back when, he was showing his backyard all the time, and he would do side discharge with that time master, and that was just so crazy that thing could stripe like that.
Yeah.
Those
things stripe very well. It's a very good striping mower. We have one vote for mulch, one vote for bags. Those are your two votes you got there. So 50-50, it's a toss-up.
I like bagging.
I bet you do.
Yeah. But I have 4 kids, I don't. So. Gator and G5, okay.
Let's get some questions here. My phone's gonna die at 3%, so I've got to get these questions in here.
Next mow video, Graffiti Ghost.
Graffiti Ghost, this is what I live for. Perfect song for you. I'll check it out. If it's copyrighted song, though, I won't be able to use it. Maybe for Instagram hero. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, I'm trying to start posting more stuff on there, like behind the scenes stuff and things I'm doing here. So you can go check that out and get more than just the YouTube stuff. You can go follow him. Are you now officially on Motor City?
No, I do both, but
he has an Instagram account, the Neighbor Dominator, but he's also got an account, Motor City, like Mow, MOWTOR City.
Because I'm from the Motor City. I'm from Detroit, so I kind of wanted to start something new and give it a shot. But I haven't been posting much on the social media. I don't know. It's just so tough on that.
Social
Instagram.
media is it's a different animal.
Yeah. So YouTube, you can
try to keep up with all this stuff going on.
Yeah, there's trends and all that other junk, and and another thing too. I mean, I'm just speaking completely freely on this live. I don't care. But no, I posted on the Instagram, and the video got 1 million views.
Yeah.
And I thought that was pretty good. And before, when I'd post on there, that would be good engagement. And I got 3 followers off it. And I was so 1 million views got me 3 off of there, And there was only a handful of comments, and it made me think, is this even real? I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. So I was just I don't know. But I just do YouTube. I just do YouTube. I communicate through Instagram, though. A lot of people message me on Instagram. So I talk through Instagram, and then I just do YouTube.
So someone asked the temperature. It's 66 right here now. Tomorrow the high is 82, but the rest of the week is going to be low 70s. Perfect weather. Low of 50, mid 50s, and high of low to mid 70s is perfect weather. Wish I could have that year round.
Where's Lawn to Learn? Where do you live? How are you here? Are you close to Indiana? Over here? I'll come mow your lawn on the way home. I'm leaving tomorrow.
Someone asked, what kind of ride-on mower would you recommend for a first timer? Is it for your own lawn? What size is your lawn? That depends on a lot. I mean, there's a lot of good mowers out there. It's really hard to say. I like my Toro mower that I have. I think if you want to go battery, that I've heard good things about the Ego Z6. I've test drove it, but never like fully blown used it for a period of time. A lot of good mowers out there. Lake House Lawn Care, Greensmaster or Swordman?
Oh man, that's how. You know what? What are your feelings on that actually?
Question with those two? I'd say Greensmaster 1,000,000%.
Yeah?
Over the Swordman, personally.
See, I'm indifferent because the first time I used the Greensmaster at your house, that was like 2 years ago. It was like I was blown away, you know. But like the thing doesn't stripe as well. Like we were talking, like it didn't stripe as well as the Allet Liberty, and you know. Then I bought.
I will say the bet. So I'm that question. Greensmaster 1,000%. Here in my backyard, I'm gonna be real mowing, and I've got a wide open area. The Greensmaster is gonna be perfect. If you have a small area where you've got a tight turnarounds and stuff, the Greensmaster is not ideal at all.
See, like,
like he's saying, I think the Allet is probably of all the real mowers I've used, the Allet stripe way better than any of them.
Better than the Swordman, you think?
My Swordman didn't stripe for anything. It had that thing on the side of it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it erases part of the previous.
Yeah, it
batch,
did. Yeah,
and
I have
it's
to
just
mow
so
without
annoying.
the side. Well, so Justin, I agree with that. Is the Greensmaster? I was real mowing my backyard, and I had like going long ways. You can let the thing rip and go. When I was doing it in the front yard, it was like right when I put it in gear, I had to like hit the brakes so fast before I even got to full speed. I'd have to brake, and then now this thing's like 275 pounds. I'm turning around, whereas the Swordman it is. I have it. It's a lot easier. The Swordman, I think, stripes better, and it's more ideal for my yard. Yeah. But the one thing though is that Greensmaster is, I mean, comparing it to a Swordman Electra, because I don't have the Edwin. I don't. When it comes to loudness, like obviously the battery, the Swordman's the quietest, the Electra, but that Greensmaster you had, that thing was silent. Like I was
super quiet.
I was so blown away. I thought those machines were loud.
That's a good thing about that. I've actually got to go pick up a 1600 from Turf Tamer, but they're super quiet. They're if you have an open area, the Greensmaster is hard to beat. It really is. Papa Mo's Low says Greensmaster over Swordman all day, or go with the new Revolution from Rear Rollers or the Rolux. We were actually just talking about the Revolution and the Rolux, two new mowers to the market, and they both look awesome, and we would love to try them out.
They're wide. Those are wide boys too. 26.
Yeah, they have 26-inch options, which is what the Greensmaster 1600 is. So it'd be good here for this backyard.
So Zach Hall, you say the Swordman sucks. Do you have a Swordman? Well, which one do you have? Because I want to know what the problems are. Like what? Because I have the Electra, and I haven't run into any problems yet. Like it's been nothing but awesome, and it is the quietest thing. But you said though, the side plate, I have to take the side plate off because I was maintaining a 1/2 inch this year, and that side plate, because I have a slope, it was definitely hitting. It was the back end of it was tickling the grass, and it was putting a funny stripe in there. So, but otherwise, the Electra is fantastic. I got the 55. Taking the cartridges in and out of that thing, that sucks. Like that is not friendly. Whereas the Allet Sterling that I have, easy. That is like bam bam. But I got to do a video on this yet. But I mean, when you're talking a Swordman is it comes with like a 6-blade. Yeah. That thing's like $3,600, and then you can go ahead and purchase a sweet Allet with that awesome system with no battery and charger for a cool $7,000. I don't think it is worth it. Swordman all the way with that.
But compare the Swordman to the Allet Kensington, the gas one. What's the price on that?
Ooh.
I know when my neighbor Eric got one, which this was pre-COVID crap going on. He paid, I don't know, less than $3,000 for it. I think. And that's a really nice mower too, the Outlet Kensington. It's just not very big.
Yeah, everyone always messages me about like how this thing is not smokeless.
No, we're getting smoked out here.
But I don't. I feel that like how big's the Kensington? Is that
I think it's 20 or 21?
I got.
Yeah, 20. It's 20H.
Well, because the reason why people were asking me about comparing the Sterling to the Swardman is because they're both battery. The Kensington is not battery. So like when it comes to, something like that, I guess you would compare the Edwin to the Kensington. But when it comes to a big battery, like as far as width with a cartridge system, those are the two. And, I don't know, to pay an extra like $2-3 grand just for an easy system.
Yeah.
Man, are you all right over there? Or?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, is that like? I don't know. It probably doesn't show up on the live, but this is like just bellowing out smoke.
Used to it. Lake House Lawn Care. Kyle wants to know best cool season grass. You go first.
Yeah,
I know you already said what you were going to do.
Kentucky bluegrass, man. I mean, it depends on what you're doing though, because that.
So let's say someone who wants a really nice lawn, but they're not trying to do like a putting green or do all that type of stuff, and each one is in their ideal situation. So like obviously Pacific Northwest, a lot of those guys do ryegrass. In the warmer areas, a lot of those people do fescue, and then other areas they do bluegrass. If you're in, like, take one of those yards, which one would you prefer?
I would honestly, if we're looking for just a nice lawn, lower maintenance, like fescue's fantastic.
I loved my fescue.
Yeah, your fescue looked great, and they actually, I think it's. Oh my gosh, we were just talking. Who were we talking about that uses the UMax?
Turf culture, Brandon.
Turf culture. Yeah. Doesn't he have dwarf fescue?
He has dwarf fescue, and he mows it at an inch, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty
Something
cool.
Like
so
that.
I would do
with
fescue.
his real mower. He real mows his tall fescue.
Yeah, I would probably, I've never really felt the fescue like your lawn was fantastic, and it was fescue, and like it's drought tolerant.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know what I don't know what kind of inputs you have to put on that.
That's one thing, and I will say it still stripes, but I think personally out of the three, ryegrass, fescue, and bluegrass, that bluegrass actually stripes the worst.
Yeah. From
my experience with it, at least. I think ryegrass stripes the best.
Yes, it does.
Fescue is the second, and then bluegrass. I would give I agree with him, but I would probably give the crown to bluegrass just for its ability to spread and fill in and thicken up naturally.
If it was just one cultivar, if you were just going to do one flavor, but I mean, I think that'd be pretty cool to do a what was that? That Pete, is it Pete Denny? Pete, he had that cool bluegrass that had Kentucky bluegrass and the fescue mixed in, so that would heal itself and have the drought tolerance. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, I think fescue would be the best. It's not as soft as like a bluegrass though, is it?
Right.
It's a thicker blade.
Yeah.
But
usually they've got some thin blade stuff, but
let's see here.
What else we got? Inexpensive entry level reel mower. I would say look at correct me if I'm wrong, I think you know more about this than I do, but that Rolex doesn't look, Rolex, I want to say Rolex.
Yeah.
Doesn't look all that expensive, I don't think, right?
No.
I mean, compared to the Allets and the Swardmans and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I would, if the Rolex was available back then, that's what I would have got over a Swardman and over an Allet. Yeah, the Rolex I think is...
I don't know the price of the real rollers one.
Yeah, I just saw a video on that Revolution. It was like from Real Rollers, and they actually sent me an email. They're like, "Oh yeah, you get this $500 off coupon, and you'll get it for $2,200, a 26-inch reel. It's got the rubber coated. It had the engage bar for the blade, and then in the rear wheels, and it's got the raising the height of cut on there. I can't. That was another thing that, just to let you guys know, because I'm a real mower. When you're adjusting the height of cut, like when I had the Greensmaster, I had the height of cut gauge bar, and
it's a pain. It's very
yeah
time consuming, and
it's time consuming, and that little nail thing on there. It's like I had to get the digital one. It was better, but when you have the Allet or the Swordman and now this Rolex, they all come with it now, where you can adjust it with a screwdriver.
The Allet, or at least the ones that you literally twist a dial and it raises and lowers the height of cut.
Yeah.
Super simple.
And it tells you the number. I actually have the Hudson Star in my trunk right now, but when you adjust that height of cut, there's no numbers. You just gotta kind of eyeball it, or you get another gauge. But all the other ones those are awesome. But the Rolex, I actually saw another, because I was so interested in the Rolex. I saw somebody do a video across seas. They're mad that they're it's from Africa, South Africa.
Yeah.
That this guy sent out a hate video saying that I can't believe the United States is they're getting our one thing that we're so proud of is our Rolex mower. He's like, you guys better not trash it. But yeah, that's a sweet looking mower. I think it's gonna do well.
People are saying the real rollers is $2,300 right now. The Rolex is $1,999.
I don't know if that would. What do you think? See, the Rolex, I'm not sure.
If you want the most inexpensive real mower, it's probably going to be the California trimmer.
Yeah.
I would assume.
I don't like the wheels.
Yeah, I would. I know some people have them and love them.
Troy.
I would rather have one that has a roller or rear drum. They don't have. Yeah. They have wheels in the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just me.
If you're going for inexpensive, then, if you have the lawn for it, then nothing beats the Greensmaster. Like a used GM 1000. I picked one. I don't know. I mean, with the times now, but I mean, it was probably about a year and a half ago, maybe 2, and I picked mine up for $800, and it was fantastic. Yeah. It was. I mean, it was sharp. Those things are tanks.
You can't get a good one for that price right now.
Really, you can't?
My phone just died, so he's on the comments. No, yeah, $800 for a used Greensmaster. That's at least in decent shape. You're not gonna find that. Let's see. Lake House Lawn Care says he has RPR too, and it's awesome. That's Baron Brug's Regenerating Perennial Ryegrass. Where do you have that at? I thought you had bluegrass in your backyard.
No, his backyard's RPR.
It's all RPR?
Yeah.
Oh wow, sweet.
People.
I have a bag of RPR here, and I'm debating if I want to do that or not.
People were bashing RPR. Saying how light it is, and I used it in my front yard. I have the SS 9000. That was the darkest grass I've ever seen. And then I did the RPR, and it was light. It was definitely light, but so is any brand new grass when it comes in. But right now, if you went to my house, you would not be able to tell. Only if someone knew that I put that there, they could see it. You can't tell.
I don't really have issue with the color out here because I don't have anybody's lawn up next to me to compare it. His lawn's light. My lawn's not going to look light or dark on camera. The only thing you're going to be able to see on camera here is before and after. If I put iron down, you'll be able to see what it does.
Yeah.
But it's not going to look dark or light. But I'm thinking about doing RPR.
Yeah. RPR is awesome. RPR is awesome.
Let's see. Dad Bod Lawn wants to know why it isn't raining. I don't know. I'm shocked. Hopefully that rain will stay away so I can get some grass seed down.
What kind of dirt? What is this?
What kind of dirt?
Is this clay?
It is dirt that you get in the ground.
Yeah.
It's funny. There's a mix of clay and good topsoil all throughout this lawn. You'll dig up a spot here, and it'll just be red clay.
Yeah, it's red.
And then 5 feet over there, it'll be really dark, good topsoil. It's weird, but
it's
everything we're sitting on where the patio, where we're going to be putting a patio. We dug it out today, and we're sitting on red clay basically. If you look, it's like, especially over there, it's really red. And then, but right here, it's good topsoil. So it's crazy.
What does it say?
Philip says when you buy RPR with Yellow Jacket, which is Barenbrug's coating, they have that not on just on RPR. They have it on all their seed as an option. It takes up 50% of the bag weight, so you're only getting half the amount of seed, which is true. Same thing as going to Lowe's and you get the Scott's seed that's coated. Half that bag or more is going to be the coating, so you're getting way less seed, but you're paying the same amount or more money. So I would say sometimes it's worth it. That Yellow Jacket coating is pretty awesome, I won't lie.
See, I heard that they put like fungicide and stuff
Yeah,
on it.
It has fungicide in it, which is awesome.
Yeah, if you can spend the money, it's
especially on like bluegrass. So I had the Yellow Jacket on the bluegrass that got washed away. It's probably growing in a ditch really well somewhere down the creek. It was on there. I think something like rye, it might not be worth it because that stuff pops up in 4 days and then you can cut back your watering. But something like bluegrass seed where you're watering it for like 3 weeks, sometimes 4 weeks, multiple times a day, and it actually does have a chance of rotting or something like that, maybe it's probably worth it for that. Oaky Lawn, are you not getting eaten up by mosquitoes? No, we're good.
No.
There's
no grass.
There's no grass for them to come and enjoy.
Twist the knife.
Really, the biggest issue we've had out here is the ticks. But we let the chickens out, and the chickens go eat a lot of the ticks, so it's not been too bad. Patrick Squires did pre-germinate for the first time on my KBG, and wow, 4.5 days and I had green. Way better overall success. 23 days and did first mow on it. That's pretty cool. Man, I've seen a lot of people do the pre-germinating, but I've never done it.
I've never done it. I want to do it.
I would like to try it sometime on a small spot and see how it does. I couldn't pre-germinate all the seed for this.
Nah. But I mean, how do you I've seen some videos. How long are we like soaking this?
I think so I don't know 100%, but I think it's like 3 days.
Really? That's it?
I don't think you want to do it for real long.
I know. I think Jordan did it on the lawn tools. He did that once. He was
Didn't
like, you gotta long. He had to keep like swapping out water and stuff like that. I thought, and like, what am I doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing over here? This is a family show.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
You can see it on the camera.
I don't know. How long did you pre-germinate your seeds for, Patrick? Let us know. Let's see. Lake House wants to know, what's your least favorite lawn chore?
Least favorite lawn chore? Watering. Because I don't have irrigation.
Oh,
I'm a straight up hose dragger, front, back, and side.
That used to be me.
And I have 2 oscillating sprinklers for the back, and then and the thing is that timers, people are like have told me like, why don't you get a timer? I have timers, but the thing is, what I found out is that they're not even worth it because I don't like leaving the hose on the grass. So it's like I have to go out there anyways and put it away. So what is the point of the timer? I just said I just put a timer on my phone and then like, all right, time to move the hose.
Right.
It's like now if you had irrigation, and then I in ground, I get it. But.
So I think watering the lawn's probably one of my most favorite, but I have in-ground irrigation.
You have the cool. Cool.
My last house, when I went from dragging hoses around to putting in irrigation, it was like the greatest thing ever when you can just push a button on your phone and they just all pop up. And I'm really excited. I've got the ear green heads in this lawn, and I'm super excited to have grass and just be able to sit out here and watch them run. It's like the ear green heads are the most mesmerizing things to watch. They really are. Tomorrow I'll show you.
I'm excited.
Them water my dirt.
See, the thing is, I would have, because people have told me, why don't you have irrigation? My house is actually set up for it. The tubes are all ran through and everything, but the previous homeowner was trash, and he didn't have a deck or a dock. So I had to build my deck.
No deck, no dock.
And then now, because I'm gonna have a boardwalk along my backyard, I'm gonna lose probably like 6-7 feet of my yard because I want a boardwalk, and I'm gonna pump from the lake. But I can't. I'm not about to pay a company to come out and install this thing, and then I'm going to build a dock over it because I can't see where that dock's going to be. So like until then, which hopefully will be a year or two from now, I have to drag the hose.
Yep, hose dragger.
I like my hose lane.
My least favorite chore for the lawn. It's been so long since I've had a lawn. I can't really remember what I like and what I don't like. Good question. I don't like weed eating, but that's probably from years of having my lawn business, and that's just my least favorite thing that I do. I get off the truck, I enjoy mowing, and I just don't like weed eating.
That would probably be. I mean,
also, I don't really like sharpening mower blades. Something I do, but I don't enjoy getting the mower, getting the thing off, and doing that.
That does suck. I guess for me, besides watering is like, I don't know. Yeah, I guess if that's considered a chore. For me, the other one would be is not necessarily sharpening, but after I'm done real mowing, I clean the machines every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like a lot of people let it cake up, whatever, because it can still fight through it. It's like I clean it every time, and especially like on a 10 blade, I'm like on that swordman. It takes me a while because they're battery powered. I don't want to just the Greensmaster, you can hit it with the hose.
Right.
With these electric ones, I'm too afraid that I'm going to break
You can power
something.
wash that Greensmaster.
Yeah.
No problem.
And like now I got to like take out the tools, remove the cartridge, and then I can power wash it. So like I can't stand doing that. So that would be my least chore.
Speaking of sharpening blades, how do you sharpen your rotary blade? So I have a impact drill. I just take the bolt out, take the blade off, and I just sharpen it with an angle grinder. I don't know about you.
Yeah.
I have a battery-powered Ryobi angle grinder. I just sharpen it with.
Yeah, I got battery powered. That's a good one.
It's a game changer.
Dude,
that's the one. That's one tool that I would recommend not having a cord, because sharpening mower blades is so much easier.
Everyone should take note of that, because I have my Harbor Freight.
You gotta plug it in.
Plug it in, and I'm all like, it's not like a big deal.
Yeah.
But once you get rid of the cord, it's like having the corded Sunjo. Like I have that, and it works great. But then when I finally got my
cord the whole time.
when I got one for my Allet, I was like a Scarfire, and there was no cord. It was like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Man, a cordless angle grinder. Genius.
So awesome. Okay, how did you like the KBG and rye mix at your old house? Do you recommend doing that mix, or one or the other? I loved that mix.
That looked
I think
good.
It's great. It cut really well. I mean, I don't know. I think that they just blended really well, and it grew well. I think it's a good mix. I don't know.
I was thinking about doing that on my front yard. Like
KBG and rye?
Yeah, because I'm doing a full kill, and I'm going to finally, because I'm going to do it in July, I'm going to make sure it is perfectly flat, and then let it sit, water it, let everything settle, and then put more sand, and I'm going to get it perfect. And then I was thinking about doing the mix, because that way, because that rye pops up so fast, it'll hold the other seed in place.
So the key is, I think, getting your ratio right of bluegrass to ryegrass. I think last time I did 80% bluegrass, 20% rye. So do you do that? Do you do 90-10? Do you do 70-30? What do you do?
Yeah, I bet you I probably would go 80-10 or 80-20. 80-10.
80-10.
Yeah,
80-10. You heard it here first. It adds up.
Woo! Yeah, it's been a long day. Yeah, I think 80-20 would be good. And that's crazy. Like how big the seed is compared. Like Kentucky bluegrass seed is so little.
Oh, it's tiny.
Yeah, and then that rye is like, it looks like a toothpick.
Yeah.
Well,
the problem with bluegrass, I think, is one, if you don't have your spreader dialed in right, it's really easy to spread too much at once because it's so small. But it's also hard to see it coming out of the spreader.
Yeah.
So it's easy to over apply or whatever on the grass. sorry if already discussed, but what are your thoughts on robot mowers? Do you plan on incorporating them in your lawns? We talked about this a little bit ago.
I have one.
He has a
Love it.
Luba in his yard, and he loves it. I've been testing out a Luba as well in someone else's yard, and I've not had the best experience with it. And I filmed all this stuff and my frustrations with it, but I'm gonna try and bring it back here, and I'm gonna have to mount it up high because that thing has to, the trees and stuff interfere with it. But I'm gonna try to get it set up here because I would actually really like to have a robot mower here to mow a large portion of this, and then I would mow this on the weekends and get to enjoy the lawn more, I guess. But I still want to mow my lawn. I just don't want to do it maybe every 3 days like I was.
You know, with the robot mower though, it is, with my experience, I can't. You still have to mow. I still have to mow with a regular lawnmower around the outer edges because
you're still gonna have to weed eat and do all that stuff.
You gotta weed eat, and then like in certain spots you still have to mow. But like you can now, like I do it every other. I bring out the normal mower and do a perimeter pass. I'll cut that a little bit shorter, and then that way it'll catch up. You know, like I'll set the robot lower. You know, and then like they'll catch up to each other, and it'll give me like a week or two of not, you know, doing that.
Kyle asked if I have a well for my irrigation. I don't. I wish I did. I wish I had a well, but I don't, unfortunately. What's an angle grinder? You can Google angle grinder. You can get them for pretty cheap, actually. I think my Ryobi I paid like $50 for, maybe on Amazon.
That's what it costs.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Harbor Freight one was like, honestly, like I think it was like $15.99.
Yeah. So you can get them really cheap. You can just Google angle grinder and it should pop up. And there's probably tons of YouTube videos of people using an angle grinder to sharpen their mower
Get
blades.
the cordless.
But I would recommend spending more money and getting the battery one.
Get the cordless. I'm getting one when I get home. Right away.
Yep.
No joke.
Let's see. Man, we're all caught up.
Or is the internet disconnected? Is there an exclamation point?
No.
Yeah.
We're good. Bring in some more questions. I'm gonna give this back to Clint. I'm gonna get this fire figured out here. We're getting smoked out.
Okie Lawn asks, what's an angle grinder? The angle grinder is, it's, I don't know, like, what is it? A handheld. People use them like to cut off, like, what is it? If you have like a broken screw or something.
Yeah, you can cut metal.
It's like just a little flat disc that goes onto a handheld motor, and like it just uses to sharpen. You can sharpen your blades and, you know, whatever, you know. You just got to Google it. That's a tough one to explain.
It's worth the Google.
It's worth the Google. Clint, what's the best menu item at Jets?
Ooh, he didn't bring me any pizza. I'm really upset about it.
So for those who don't know, I'm affiliated with Jets Pizza. It's based out of Michigan.
Sponsored.
And non-sponsored. But no, honestly, I'm basic. I just do. We have now the spicy pepperoni. The pepperonis that curl up when you cook them. You know, something that you get at like a mom and pop's place. Not like the Little Caesars, like flat little skeezers. Flat pepperoni. It's like the good ones that curl up. But yeah, that's what I do. Let's see here, it says Jason T. What up, guys?
What up?
What up, Jason?
What up, Jace?
It's Jason T. JT. But what type of flap disc on the angle grinder? What kind of flap disc? What grit are you using? Isn't it really like a 60 or an 80?
I don't know. I'd have to go look at it.
I think it's like, I've seen people use 60 or 80. I think Alan just posted something of him using a 60.
This is how you start a fire.
True Boy Scout. The Dad Bod Lawn. We're gonna meet up at Equip again. I I do not know what equip is. Is it the GIE?
Yes, equip is GIE.
I was kidding. I'm gonna call it GIE forever.
Oh, me too.
I don't know what else, but yeah.
I got to enjoy the equip this year because I can't go next year.
Well,
I already got plans. I already got
Really?
all break plans. Yeah,
That sucks.
cruising.
Oh really?
Yeah, just
Cool.
booked it yesterday.
Nice.
Now we're talking.
I'll be there. I'm gonna be going to Simple Lawn Solutions has a Top Golf.
Ooh,
I'm gonna check that out.
sounds fun.
Yeah, check that out. See, it says barbecue chicken pizza from Greg. Barbecue chicken pizza from Jets is the best. Yes, it is delicious. It is really good. And then we have new pizzas actually coming out. It's time to use Jess. It's time to use the Ryobi battery pack blower for that fire. And what is that? Is it like a low powered? It's Ryobi.
I don't know. I don't have a Ryobi. I've got an Ego and I've got a Toro. My Ego one's right there.
I have a bone to pick with Little Caesar, says Dad by the Lawn Father at Lake House Lawn. 8-corner triple cheese. Everyone's talking pizza. Vinny. Vinny! Now he's local. He lives right down the street from me.
Does he?
Yeah. He says BLT. Okay, Patrick Squires. What is your prodiamine program? Granule, spray, half app? I personally never really used any of that stuff.
No pre-emergent?
No, I tried it. Well, okay, I tried it once in my backyard this season. And I didn't even, I think I put it down too late because I still had stuff going on. I don't use it. I just don't. I like
it. If I could only do, say I had a section of my lawn I wanted minimal inputs on, right? But I didn't want weeds. The three things I guess. I would mow it often. I would put a pre-emergent down in the spring and I would spray any weeds that popped up. I wouldn't even put fertilizer down.
Really? Well, see,
But I would put a pre-emergent down to try and prevent crabgrass and crap from popping up.
Personally. I feel that in Michigan, when people are like, you can't seed in the spring, because some people are like, oh, well, like that I've been personally told, it's like the lawn won't establish, it's going to get too hot. And like the little baby grass ain't gonna make it. Well, I've overseeded in the springtime. Mm-hmm. This is my first time seeding actually in the fall, because what I find in Michigan is that everyone's like, oh yeah, do it in the fall. Like our temperatures drop so fast in Michigan, and it's actually better for me to seed in spring because we don't hit like that crazy hot weather until like end of July. Beginning normally August is like we're in the we finally hit 90s, so it has like April, May, June, half of July, then we pick it up. And like my grass, I've already cut my grass like a million times.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I've always done it in the spring. So that's why a big reason why I never did any pre-emergent, because then I wouldn't be able to seed.
Right.
So that's why I never ever used it. I'm not against it.
Well, in your case, then you may be better off using pre-emergent in the fall to prevent POA and that kind of stuff.
Would that still prevent me from seeding in spring?
No.
Really? What? No?
You use pre-emergent in the fall, it prevents the winter junk, like POA, which is a pain.
Yeah, just dug it all out.
But then by the time spring rolls around, you're good to seed again. There's a thought. I will say, when we go to Michigan in the summer, usually the end of June, and it's still fairly chilly.
Cadillac says, I live in southern Indiana. This year I'm overseeding with Artemis tall turf type. Is it tall turf type fescue? Turf type tall fescue. You have any experience with that seed, the Artemis?
I don't. I've heard of it. I've never used it, but I'm sure it's a good seed.
And then Kyle Lakehouse says, any experience using prodiamine to prevent POA annua? Which I think that's what you just said, right?
Yeah. Put it down in the fall. The hard part is You can overseed your yard if you need to do that in the fall and put the pre-emergent down, but you're going to have to overseed earlier than you normally would. So you really want to hit basically in the springtime when the soil temps are rising up, and then you want to get down before that 55-degree mark, usually roughly. The opposite with the fall time, as it's dropping towards that, you want to get it down, and should be pretty good for you for preventing that kind of stuff.
Because I bought a thermometer for that, and then I kept thinking about seeding, and I just didn't do it.
Yeah. So if you wanted to put the pre-emergent down in the fall and overseed, you could overseed in August or whatever, or you might be able to get away with it doing it now. And then if your stuff germinates and pops up, you put the pre-emergent down. It's not going to prevent it from popping up because it's already popped up. So.
That's what I got to do. Because right now my lawn's growing up. My overseeding or like my patchwork that I did, I'm waiting until that pops up. Because if you're saying that it's not going to affect me in spring, then I'll do it. Yeah. I'll do it this year. Brandon Hayden says, Clint, what lawn products do you use from Justin's website, or what's your favorite? I don't know. Is that like a stab at me? Or no, I mean,
he wears my hat and my gear.
Yeah. Let's see. What's your favorite lawn product? I mean, I use Turf Titan now.
Yeah.
And I've used it for 2 years. My lawn's never looked so good. I mean, I like their root booster.
Yeah.
And I mix that with Commander.
Is that a root booster? Is that like a kelp product?
No, it's a soil microbes.
Okay.
I'm really big into the soil microbes. I know there's people that say
people will say that's like a hip. That's one thing that because the Sanctuary product I use is all
soil
about the same
microbes.
thing. And I used that on that side yard that the guy was asking about with the bluegrass and the rye. I used the Whisper Pack. I used Sanctuary and Dab, which is a humic and molasses product.
Mm-hmm.
And my yard, that side yard, looked awesome. And those are the only two products I was using on it.
Yeah, and I've been using root booster consistently, and I'll put the Commander in when I want a little bit of nitrogen, but then the Thatch Buster's all microbes, and I'm telling you, like my lawn looks, and like not trying to like sound like a whatever, but like my lawn looks fantastic, and I've used other fertilizers, and I believe in the soil microbiology. I really do, and farmers are using it, and they're getting bigger yields off it using less fertilizer. It makes sense, to use it to me personal, But someone also said, I think it was Matt Martin said that, you have soil microbes in your native soil, and when you introduce the guys from the outside, or like the ones that like from Sanctuary or from Turf Titan, and that they reject them. But I mean, I don't know, man. When I dug out my flower bed and this little bit in my yard, I've never seen so many worms. Like my yard's alive. Like the worm castings, even though I reel mow, like worm castings are good.
Yeah,
it's good for your lawn, and I have them all over the place. So, but let's see here. How hard? Let's see here. Khalif says, how hard would you push a newly seeded lawn? It's been a month, and I got a couple of months before our average frosting. I don't have my glasses. That's hard for me to read.
A newly seeded lawn or newly overseeded lawn? Does he specify? He doesn't probably say what type of grass he has.
No.
So, for example, here, if I'm planting bluegrass likes to do this thing called sprout and pout. So it sprouts out of the ground, and it just kind of stays in this short phase for a while before it decides it wants to grow. I will probably, I'm getting the bluegrass down a little later than I would have liked to. It's going to be fine. I've got plenty of time. But when it pops out of the ground, I will start feeding it probably weekly with very small doses to try and push it. Now, if it was a tall fescue lawn, I wouldn't do that. The tall fescue, new tall fescue lawn, which I'm planting over there, on that I'm probably gonna do maybe 2 applications of fertilizer between the time it sprouts and the time I put it to bed. I'll probably do the initial feeding at time of seeding, starter fertilizer, if you will, and then I'll do 2 apps after that, and that'll be good for that. But the bluegrass, I will feed it small doses frequently, just to try and get it to fill in before the frost.
This is a good one by Tom N. I've had a ton of clumping fescue pop up all over my lawn. Is there anything I can use to prevent this? I was told that there's not. Like you gotta dig it out.
Yeah, dig it out or spray it with glyphosate and
Really?
then reseed it.
I was hoping you had some kind of magic because you're
I
like the
wish.
spray master.
I wish.
Man.
There's nothing you can do really.
Yeah, Andrew from Turf Titan, he was showing me pictures of his lawn. He's got that all over the place.
Yeah,
And I was just
it
like,
sucks.
I'm like, the only thing that I know is, you got to dig it out or you got to kill it.
I would much rather have crabgrass popping up everywhere.
Yeah,
can kill that
you can
stuff.
kill crabgrass. Yeah. Let's see here.
So nice out here. I don't know if you guys can hear the crickets, but it's nice.
Yeah, there's all kinds. We're surrounded by trees right now. Everyone's just looking at like a big bobcat behind us.
Yeah.
We're like in the middle of the woods. This is pretty cool. We need more questions. I'm going back to see if
I think we're losing some people here.
we're keeping a steady 31, 32.
It's at 18 now.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. It's getting late. Past my bedtime for sure.
Let's see here. What time is this? 10:30. Yeah. I think that's we got a lot of Michiganders in here. The Dad Bylon, Greg H. All my fellow Michiganders.
Showing up to support.
Vinny. They're talking about the Lions right now. That was like
are they playing right now? Or they won the other night.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I've seen a lot of people like making fun of it. That like the other, what is it, the Mahomes guy? I don't watch sports ball. I don't watch that stuff. But like he was like throwing passes like and hitting people in the chest, and they were all dropping it. I didn't watch any of the game. I was working, so. Well, it's
pizza, slinging pizza.
Yeah, well, that's when we get busy. So I didn't watch football for like something like 16 years because I had to work. I had to work. We're busy.
Prime time pizza.
So I got to go make make the dough. Literally, both.
Literally.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean,
Okay.
it keeps going up and down, up and down. I don't know if I got the delay on here, but
yeah. All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for hopping on here. Thanks for giving us some questions.
Oh, he said one more. I saw he repeated this. The Oki long guy. How do you says how? Oh, that heart is in the way. How do you keep the correct angle when using a handheld grinder? I just grind it.
Just eyeball it.
Yeah, just eyeball it. You look at it. Don't take too much off.
It's supposed to be about 30 degrees, I believe. But yeah, if you just eyeball the angle that comes on it, and you just do your best. I mean, they make stuff like there's the All-American sharpener. There's this thing that you can mount it to a table or a workbench, and then you also mount your angle grinder to it, and it is like an arm that rotates, and basically the blade's here. The All-American sharpener will kind of you use it. I mean, I'm not explaining this right with my arm, but it holds the same exact angle that you should have the whole way, and so you can't mess it up. But those things are like $250. So
someone said before, like instead of using an angle grinder, just use a file.
yeah, I mean you can
just
use a file. That's the old school way.
Yeah, just hit it real quick, and like it's good to go.
Yeah.
Do you balance it?
I balance the blades I use on my zero turn.
Do you use that little like UFO looking thing?
I do have one of those, yeah. Or I just put a nail in the wall and
make sure it stays.
You can put a nail in the wall and put your blade on it, and if it tips to one side, that has more metal on it, so you take a little more off of that, and it should level out so the blade's straight.
Well, people are a few more here. So here, Brian U, Indianapolis in here. I was just in Indianapolis. I was at a trade show right next to the Colts were playing. That's what took me so long to get here.
The Colts.
Because
the game left out.
It was like 4:30. I got out, and then so did everyone else. Because I was going to come right away, but I couldn't move. There were cops everywhere. But see here. Brian, Indiana's coach, says he can't wait to watch both you guys and your content to come. I got to get my hips replaced first this winter, so I can barely walk.
You're an old man.
Yeah, I just Dad Bod got a knockoff American sharpener coming in tomorrow.
Ooh,
Chad.
knockoff American sharpener.
Jets Ranch is the best. That's fact. It was ranked #1 in Michigan.
Really?
Yeah, it won.
You know who? Brett's not on here anymore, but Brett makes fun of my wife and I because we like ranch on our pizza and breadsticks, but cheese sauce. You guys do cheese sauce?
No, I wish we did. Yeah, that stuff's pretty good.
With every pizza place here, you get cheese sauce.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
See, ours comes with pizza sauce. You have to ask for ranch. Cheese sauce, I've had it before. It's so
Ours,
good.
the standard here is cheese sauce.
Wow, that's so different. It's not weird, it's different.
It's awesome. That's what it is. Now we're getting smoked out again.
Yeah. Then we got Jess. Can you use Root Booster and Commander at the same time for the lawn? Yes, you can. And it works fantastic. But one thing that, I was talking to Turf Titan about is, when seeding and using Root Booster, like if you're overseeding and stuff like that, the soil microbes and what they use in there help inoculate the seed and get it going. And I was just like, well, if the microbes are helping, then Thatch Buster's microbes, but they're a whole different brand, like a whole different bunch of bugs in a jug, and that stuff helps decompose.
Mm-hmm.
So
you wouldn't want to use
you wouldn't want to use Thatch Buster, with Root Booster, like if you're seeding.
Mm-hmm.
Found that one out, like to tell people, because I've had that question before, and I've kind of answered it like that, but I was never sure. But yeah, those two can be combined. And that's another thing, I was going to mention, while it's in my mind, the reason why I really like Turf Titan is that you can tank mix all their stuff.
Yeah.
So what I like doing, this goes back to somebody, I forgot, Brandon was asking about my favorite fertilizer. When I spray now, I can put it all in there, because like it helps me out because I can't walk anymore. So it's like I have that Petra 6-gallon, so I can put all my stuff in there and fill it all up, mix it up real good, and I can just put down really one application at the beginning of the month. That's what I've been doing. And
I think that's the benefit of using liquids in general for the most part, is instead of a granular, you apply this, and then if you want to put down, if you wanted to use humic, if you had to use a granular humic DG, for example, you'd have to go put that down again, and it takes a lot of time, whereas liquids you can just pour in and go. And
I think that when it comes to like nitrogen, though, you can't get your full app of nitrogen with liquid. You gotta put that down. Like you can. I think you just really need it at the end of the season. You could do it in the mid-season. Like I had some clover popping up, and I found that if I introduce more nitrogen, the clover goes away. That's what I found. But liquid all the way. All right.
Got anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining. This is awesome.
This is a lot of fun.
And stay tuned. Go to Clint's channel and subscribe. The Neighbor Dominator.
Yeah, the neighbor not the neighborhood dominator. That's what everyone says. Yeah, thanks for
Neighbor
coming, everybody.
Dominator, and be looking forward to some content coming very, very soon on his channel.
Yes.
All the stuff he's got going on my channel, and all the stuff I've got going on here. And we'll see you guys soon.
Yeah. I got my I got my Allet and Sterling video coming out soon. Everyone's been asking about that.
Sterling video.
Which one is better?
You mean Swordman?
Swordman. Yeah, that's right. I don't even know the names. It is late. It's time to go to bed.
Swordman and Allet
against each other.
Against each other.
Cool. Thanks for showing up, everybody.
Peace.
See ya.